Entire Lebanese government to resign within hours over deadly explosion, minister says.
Here's a summary of the article.
The entire Lebanese cabinet is set to resign over last week's devastating blast at Beirut port, which killed hundreds of people and injured thousands more. The news was initially announced by the country's health minister Hamad Hassan, who told reporters after a cabinet meeting that Prime Minister Hassan Diab will head to the presidential palace to hand over the resignation in the name of all the ministers. Mr. Diab is expected to address to the nation at 7:30 p.m. local time, his office said. Lebanese's beleaguered government had faced mounting pressure from angry citizens to step down after it emerged Tuesday's explosion was caused by a fire igniting a 2,700-ton poorly stored stockpile of explosive ammonium nitrate that the authorities knew about.
This post received a score of 64,000, with an upvote ratio of 97%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
What happens now? Emergency elections, or is there some sort of backup government?
Lebanon doesn't elect a president like the US, they elect the president from the parliament. So a new president will be selected by the parliament to run a 6-year term. The president gets to choose the prime minister, who is required to be a Sunni Muslim. So it's just likely we'll see a new president selected.
It's the National Pact. It's not actually a written law. It's mostly just an unwritten but sacrosanct convention. Both the Deputy PM and the Deputy Speaker must also be Greek Orthodox, and the Chief of Staff of the Armed Forces must be a Druze.
Greater than it's the National Pact. It's not actually a written law, it's mostly just an unwritten but sacrosanct convention. What I've learnt from UK and US politics over the last few years is that anything unwritten, whether due to no one abusing it or due to honourable agreements, can be fucked right out the window as soon as a dickhead gets in charge.
The enforcement mechanism for the National Pact is that all sides are armed to the teeth and fought a 15-year civil war from 1975 to 1990. If you break the deal, you break the country.
It's kind of like how, technically speaking, the British monarchy still has the power to do a number of things, including veto the passing of any laws. The current king or queen has to formally approve every new bill once it's passed through Parliament, or else it doesn't become law. But the last time that didn't happen was in the early 1700s, and only because the ministers asked. Even more extremely, until as recently as 2011, the Crown has technically had the ability to totally dissolve Parliament, since it was initially formed by King Charles after he lost the Civil War. Currently the monarchy has the ability to temporarily disband Parliament, but not totally abolish it.
I wouldn't compare the English Civil War to the Lebanese Civil War brah. Almost 500 years apart. The UK has a parliamentary system that works for the most part, and the monarchy has little real power in it. Lebanon is, on the other hand, unstable and broken, like much of the world.
The royal family has little power that it exercises, but it still holds substantial real power. The thing is, it's incredibly unlikely that the monarchy could use the power poorly, and persistently, and remain in existence, but in the event of a major governmental failure, the monarchy could pull some massive rank, and if there was an overwhelming consensus of "oh God thank the Queen," that cleared that right up, and the monarchy retreats back to doing nothing, it's very unlikely to change things, so the monarchy actually guards against insane tyranny through its ceremonial retention of immense power. Like you can obviously say that they can't do that much, but the military is Her Majesty's armed forces, every ship is her naval vessel, enacting her will for the Commonwealth. If Boris Johnson tried to pull a Hitler, or go mad, and started making dictatorial overtures, the vast majority of the armed forces and police would 100% defer to the Crown, as long as the Crown doesn't linger in the exercise of power.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.